Hi, I'm Pete Marin with Airbrush Events. You're watching one of 13 videos that I created on how I airbrush caps at events. Now, these videos were really created for my team, so you'll notice the language is directed towards them, but I wanted to share it with you and the rest of the internet. So please comment, like, and subscribe, and feel free to use the designs. Okay, let's do design number 3. We're going to do what I call scratch lettering. We're going to start by doing just simple print, and the name will be Liam. So basically 2 letters here, 2 letters here. That'll help us to center everything. Liam. And I can center that in the hat. Now to make it scratch, it's really simple. I'm just going to do this kind of motion back and forth. I'm not letting go of the trigger, so it does kind of ball up at the end, and that's okay. I've seen people do scratch lettering a little different. This is how I do it. It is fast and easy. And it's okay if the letters, or not the letters, the line work is separated or of different lengths. You do want some of that chaos going on. Make it look a little bit random. I'll go over the edge here. I'll cross, some of the lines together. There, that's the scratch look. Now, whenever I do scratch lettering, I usually wrap it. I'm going to do what's called a tight wrap. So you can see I'm trying to stay equal distant away from the letter at all times. And when I go over the bumpy areas with a lot of contours, I follow the contour as much as I can. Technically, I could have went right through, because I have a large enough space between these 2 letters, but I definitely don't want to do that. I want to connect them. I want to leave the connection. That way it will look like one word and not 2. Like if I put a separation here, it might look like Liam. So. There. And that's a tight wrap. Now, I call it a tight wrap for a reason. It's tight. Sometimes I see artists doing something a little different, and I would urge you to avoid this. When you're doing a tight wrap design, I don't want you to do this. That's not the same thing, okay? I don't know what you'd call that, but it's not a tight wrap. So let's get rid of that. I don't even want to look at it. There. Okay, next we're going to do a fade. Fades look like this. Right? They're tight on one side and then fade up. Or you could do it the opposite direction, but that essentially is a fade. You can even do it side to side, doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll do a really saturated line here and gradually fade up. No, most of the time I do fades that way. But because we're using black as a background to black lettering, we have to be very, what's the word? We have to finesse it on there. We start light and we finish even lighter, which is tricky with opaque black, right? Technically, I should be using something like a transparent gray, or even, I think they call it shading black, which is black and it's transparent, which to me sounds like a contradiction, but apparently that's what it is. Those colors or those paints would work much better on the background. But we have a very limited palette, and we use that. We keep a small palette for simplicity and speed and efficiency. So I'm just gonna lightly apply this black, starting with my line, and then I'll go back over it and try to fade up, keeping it even lighter. All right, that's about right. And then underneath it, I'll add a couple of soft lines, kind of like that. And I do that just for texture and just make it interesting, right? So it's really easy to overdo the black. And let's say, I like using this example, if you're in a dark room and you're squinting your eyes and someone's wearing this hat 20 feet away, would you be able to read it? That would give you some indication as to whether your background is too dark or not. You may have to apply that rule even if your background is purple or blue, because they're both relatively dark colors. And when you have a dark background with dark letters, they're going to they're going to blend together in an environment that's not well lit. So my goal is to make it legible first, and then make it look good second. So there you go. That's number 3.